A very famous Russian saying from history is, "Что делать? What has to be done?"
And who is guilty?
And who is guilty?
Continue.
Кто виноват? What has to be done?
Well,
because you're talking about pick up the sword. In your book you write actually that Obama should have sent defensive weapons to Ukraine at the beginning of the war to really show Putin that we were serious about stopping his aggression. What actually could we do now to heat up the geopolitical climate?
Now, as a professional player, I used to analyze the moves we made before, just to understand mistakes that were made, and so what worked, what didn't work. So that's why I insist that we have to look back. Not to split the blame, because you repeated a few times that I was critical of Barack Obama. I was also critical about Bill Clinton and George W. Bush. So I'm not sparing words and criticizing people who I believe did something wrong in promoting freedom and defending our values. I think that we should recognize that it's just since the end of the Cold War, there was no consistent policy offering the strategic vision for the future, and it was absolutely vital because it's when the history, it doesn't end, but when you are at the end of one chapter and you move into the new page, you have to come up with new ideas, and it was up to us, up to the winners of the Cold War, the free world, to offer this vision. Instead, there were many spontaneous moves, and U.S. foreign policy, for instance, moved like a pendulum. For Clinton doing little, George W. doing too much, Obama doing nothing. So it goes as a pendulum, which created very chaotic events worldwide because nobody knows what to expect. You have a new president, and what will be his or her reaction. So during the Cold War, and that's why I emphasize in my presentation, the free world relied on institutions. And everybody knew that whether you have a Democrat or Republican in the White House, the Social Democrats or Conservatives in a European country, these policies could differ, but only within a range.